Alrighty, in the last episode we made the house. It looks pretty good. I haven't uploaded that video yet, but shh. So what I wanted to do this episode was get some upgrades up and running. Some of the things include I wanting to upgrade the backpacks from sophisticated backpacks. I want to get like this storage all figured. Could you please shut up? Oh my god. I also want to get, I don't have it in here anymore, but I want to get a hammer from Tinker's Construct that auto smelts stuff so we can finally finish the roof of the garage. And then I think I want to also get a enchanting room up and running, probably up in here, with, give me just a second. Yes, the enchanting infuser. Basically, it lets us pick our enchants. So because I really love Tinker's Construct, I added a couple mods to enhance it. I have Tinker's Thinking, Tinker's Delight, Tinker's Reforged, Tinker's Construct Planner, and Tinker's Construct Integrations. Now, if you don't have these, you may not be able to make the exact same things, but when we get to it, I'll probably show some like base mod examples that you could use for a nice alternative. Anyways, so we have an iron backpack, and it can be upgraded to a gold backpack. I have a habit of yapping, so let's get straight to the chase. The first thing we upgraded was the backpack. The backpack right now is an iron tier, so I upgraded to gold and then diamond, both of which giving more inventory slots and upgrade slots along the side. Then I wanted to craft up some backpack upgrades themselves, which are pretty cheap, just some hide, string, and something else. I'm doing this in post. What I wanted to make was a crafting table upgrade, so we could have a crafting table on the go, which came in very handy a lot this episode. And then also a stack upgrade. So normally items can only stack to 64. With this iron stack upgrade, they can go up to 128, so double the amount of stacks, which is really nice. I really like the backpacks. But I'm actually, so if we take this and we shift right click in the, can I not put it on nicely like that? Put it on the back. Okay, now if I press B, we can access it from all. Oh, I am so hyped. It's not even funny right now. What was I gonna do next? Big hammer time? Alright, if I haven't shown it off before, in the Tinker's Anvil, I have, I believe it's called Tinker's Planner. You can open it up and there's all the different types of tools you can make. And you can just select a part and then see what each of them does without needing the book, and you can just randomize it. Oh, this will be the Sponge Spectre Neptunium Sledgehammer, and you get the stats of it, whatever. And then you could like plan out your modifiers and whatnot, so it's good to make plans. I already did it for the pickaxe, and here it is for the sledgehammer that I want to make. Seared stone, I have Petition hammerhead, white stone, and a Tinker's Brawn tough handle. These will make it so we cut through stone like butter. And basically I want to do auto smelt and expanders so we can just make a huge tunnel and smelt it all nice and quick. Oh, I'm glad the gold plates work in the part builder too. So just a stone plate, and I believe I'm gonna need some seared brick. Can I go backwards? No. But we take a stone plate, plop her up on here, grab some tin. I believe it should be 4. So whitestone is automatically added with any mod that adds tin, and the reason why I want whitestone is because its ability Stone Shield, it gives a little bit of bonus durability every time you break some stone. So as we're breaking stone, the durability is constantly repairing itself just a little bit to offset it. If you want an alternative, anything with Overslime would do the trick. Whitestone! Frickin' A, man! Voila! Seared stone large plate. Don't mind if I do, and I can put you back in there. You want to put you two in there for safekeeping. I forget how to make the hepatizon, or whatever it's called. So the head is made out of hepatizon, however you say it, made out of copper, cobalt, and quartz, and an alloy. And it has really good stats and has momentum, so the more you dig, the more, like, the faster you start going, like a little train. Now, the handle is Tinker's Bronze from Tinker's Thinking, and it has cutting on it, so it cuts anything that's cut with a stone cutter faster, but it can be honestly substituted for like literally anything. I just did it because it's faster speed and it has pretty good stats. Pause the video and take a peek at those stats. And we're not even all the way done yet. Next thing I wanted to do was add auto smelt, which is just a blast furnace, a raw piece of iron, an iron bar, and 2 blocks of coal. So super cheap, and it'll automatically smelt anything that you break with it. So Tinker's tools are balanced by the fact that they have a limited number of upgrades, but there's like lots of ways you can upgrade that number of upgrades. And basically for all of the tools and armor that I add a book and quill, a mob head, and a music disc to it. So that's 3 extra upgrade slots, but there are some really endgame ones like Dragon Head or like Nether Star and that kind of fun stuff. But we'll get there when we get there. The next 3 upgrades are a diamond, an emerald, and a compass. The emerald and diamond just add some basic stats that just make the tool perform better, but the magnet adds magnetic. So every time we break a block, anything within 3 blocks gets attracted to us, so we don't have to lose anything on the corners of our tunnels. Well, I can hardly say the mod name, but Enigmatic Legacy adds a bunch of really cool trinkets, and one of them is the golden ring, and it makes it so piglins don't attack you, plus you get an extra stat of luck, so your fishing loot pools are better. So I make up one of those because we gotta go to the nether. So now is as good a time as any to talk about the pick that I made. I wanted something to basically pinpoint ores and get the most out of them. Like the most ores, the most experience, yada yada yada. So I wanted to max out fortune most importantly. And this pick was made with a Hepatizion head, a rose gold handle so I could get 2 extra, upgrades. Because this was only going to pinpoint the ore, so I wasn't doing much mining overall with it, so I could handle the decreased durability. And I also used a ancient binding, which is a leather binding covered in ancient debris, and it gives an extra level of fortune on top of anything you'd already get, so that comes in pretty handy. So that pick also needed some upgrades, so I added the bonus skull, book and quill, and music disc. And then I wanted to add the lucky ability to it because the luck takes an ability slot instead of an upgrade slot, and it takes progressively more and more expensive recipes to do so, with one of them requiring a rabbit's foot. And I haven't seen a rabbit yet, so it sent me on a whole quest all across the world to go and find a rabbit, and I hit it with the DNA syringe so we could put it in a hopper cage so we could have more for later. That was an ordeal, oh my goodness. So the second level of Lucky requires 2 Ender Pearls, which for some reason I just could not get to drop from Enderman. It was a pain in the butt. And then the final one requires a name tag, diamond, rabbit's foot, and 2 pieces of rose gold, I think. So yeah, pretty expensive stuff. So I ended up making a experience modifier for the trapped mob cage, so it gives us solidified experience, because we can take those and craft them into experience models so we can upgrade the pick with experienced, which gives us 50% more experience per level. I believe that's how it goes. Whenever you mine a block or kill a mob. Yeah, that's how it goes. So, and the blocks that only drop experience I find are the ones that are useful without having to smelt them. So like coal, redstone, diamond, lapis, while copper and iron don't give you any. Alright, we're nearly there. Next up, armor. The armor has some pretty cool modifiers to it. And to start off, I needed a buttload of cobalt. And chains, surprisingly. The plate armor is made with cobalt and chains. Anyways, I smelted that all up, and I think I'm going to cut out a lot of the resource gathering and just show you like the good bits of upgrading it. I started off with the boots, adding a bunch of feathers to add fall resistance, and then once you max out the fall resistance, you can add in long fall, which is an ability, I'm pretty sure, and it completely negates fall damage, so like, off to a strong start. The leggings are pretty neat because their ability slot can have the lucky modifier just like the tools, so you'll always have an extra level of fortune or looting on top of everything else. Thank you! So next up is reinforcements. Now reinforcements take up the defense upgrade slots on the armor, and they're made by just pouring molten obsidian into an empty casting tray, and you get some for like, if you pour cobalt on top of an obsidian plate, I can say my words, you get like melee resistance, emerald on top is blast resistance, all that kind of fun stuff, and each upgrade goes up 4 levels, so that's 80 obsidian plates per, and then there's 4 armor pieces for a grand total of 320 obsidian plates. So I put some like melee resistance on the chest piece, blaster protection on the helmet, And then Amethyst Bronze is projectile protection, and then Seared Stone is for fire protection. And then I took all of them, and if you put 4 in each slot, it's an ability upgrade for just a flat 5% damage reduction. So I did that on the helmet and chest plate. And then I wrapped it all up by adding some extra upgrades to the armor itself, like diamonds and emeralds if I had the chance. Now the part you've all been waiting for, the weapon. So I chose a cleaver, I think it's called a cleaver, because it has a chance of decapitating mobs, and those heads can be used to upgrade our future Tinker's Construct items, which is always a bonus. So what I did was 2 pieces of this are made using Tinker's Reforged. The blade, which is made of Quivium, and that's magma, like a magma block or magma cream poured over a cobalt part, and it has really high base damage, and its ability is to bypass a little bit of armor. The other Tinker's Reforged part we're using is Blazing Copper, which is just copper plus Blazing Blood, and it increases critical damage. Don't know by how much, it never says anywhere, but it could probably be substituted for honestly anything else, because I don't like to do critical hits too much. So anything with good base stats, depending on what mod pack you're using. The other 2 pieces we're using are a Necrotic Bone to give us a little bit of lifesteal, and a Nat Tool, basically molten obsidian over wood for a plate, and that gives us a little bit of damage over time. So I added the lucky modifier, maxed that out because you gotta get as much loot as possible from the mobs, as well as a bunch of experience bottles so I get experienced, and it just gives you more experience when killing a mob. So this thing is like my ultimate looter thingamabob. And then just a bunch of different extra modifier slots in case for the future, like so I can add emerald, diamond, and I think I'm gonna try and add netherite when I get the chance. So all of this was just so I can make the roof of the garage just a little bit more efficiently. Wow, that took a while, eh? So we got some pretty decked out armor. What I want to do is I need to add some last of the bonus modifiers to the boots, but I need like an end crystal, a dragon head, and a bunch of other materials that'll be a pain in the butt, so that'll be end game stuff and things. But some immune to fall damage, massive fire resistance, melee resistance, explosion resistance, and then we also got our Quivium Natural Cleaver, which that's kind of nuts. A Heptazion Pickaxe, which is great for getting our ores and whatnot. I've probably shown it off a couple times in the video. And then our Heptazion Whitestone Seared Stone Sledge, which can mine out like a chunk super fast. And this has 2 upgrades available. This one has one, and this one, I think I can probably get an extra one somewhere along the lines, but that was a pain in my butt. Now, in the next episode, we'll probably get a dinosaur, but this was an absolute blast. Thank you for sticking around, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.